November 11th, which of course is this coming Monday, marks Remembrance Day, a day where many of us are thinking of ways we can remember those who put their lives on the line for our country.
And earlier this week, the province announced that veterans and current full-time members of the Canadian Armed Forces will soon be able to ride the GO Transit system for free. True Patriot Love is an organization that works with veterans all year round to help support veterans and their families with every stage of the journey. So joining us in studio is Nick Booth, the CEO of True Patriot Love, and retired Canadian Armed Forces veteran, Chief Warrant Officer Shelley Lamotte, who is here to share their stories, also your personal experiences. It's wonderful to have you both in studio. Let's start by talking about perhaps this announcement by the government, the fact that they will be offering free transit to veterans. This is additional support. What was your reaction to this, and how could this help people who are serving and continue to serve?
We were delighted with the announcement. I think anything that the government can do to help veterans reintegrate back into the community post-service is tremendous, and also it's a way of recognising. I thought it was very strong that they moved the Remembrance Day to Remembrance Week, as you said, and it's important that we think about our veterans not just one day a year when we put our poppies on, but all year round. So True Patriot Love invests in community programs across Canada 52 weeks a year, so that not only do we help serving members while they're in, but through their transition and as they reintegrate back into the community. So
no doubt, Shelley, of course, the importance of True Patriot Love, of course, but to veterans, as their lives, change, whether, well, now active service, but also in retired and moving on to different phases of their lives, the importance of this kind of level of support, this seems like a good step. Is there more that veterans are looking for that needs to be done, that should be done, that can help them even more, whether they're transitioning or just kind of living their lives?
Oh, veterans need all sorts of different levels of support. So transport is certainly one that starts to connect them with the cities and connect them with the job opportunities and the networks in order to be able to transition back into civilian society. And then other supports, especially mental health supports for some of our veterans that have been really struggling, would be a great change. And many of them, especially with the healthcare system the way it is, need additional supports as we get moved all over the country. And so we're on waiting list to waiting list for a family physician. So any other support in the healthcare domain would be wonderful.
I understand True Patriot Love has well over 1,000 programs that help support veterans. I'm wondering if you could talk about a couple of them that seem to really be making a difference in the lives of those who have served.
Certainly. Shelley said mental health programming is very important, but not all veterans are ill and injured. Some, about 1 in 4 of veterans leave the military because of health challenges, but the vast majority actually come out well and healthy and have had an extraordinary career on behalf of all of us, protecting our democracies and freedom. But what they need is assistance finding their next career post-uniform. It can often be very difficult to understand what your skills, which have meant so much in the military, mean in the civilian service. You've been a submariner or an artillery officer. What that looks like on Bay Street or in North Bay isn't immediately obvious. So we've done a lot of work over the last year with the Government of Ontario as well, improving the connection between civilian employers and our transitioning military, just to make that task of finding your next job a little easier. And we also work a lot with families, because when you sign up to serve, your family serves too. And we know there are a lot of pressures on serving families, on spouses. So as you move around with your deployments, your spouse will move with you. And so they don't always get to take their job with them. And as Shelley said, finding healthcare, finding schooling is very difficult sometimes. So spousal employment is something we've also been focusing on.
Certainly. Shelley, I'm curious too, this is Remembrance Week, where, of course, as Nick meant, we're all wearing poppies, we're all thinking about soldiers' sacrifices, past, present, etc. I'm curious about the conversations you have with other either current or retired forces members about whether the thinking is that, does it go beyond this week? Are people thinking enough about our veterans? And I'm talking general public, not politically, just are the conversations enough? And then are people understanding, hey, this is what really retired or active duty people need right now?
I've been engaged in a number of conversations with a parallel not-for-profit as well, which is a Veterans Connection Network. And we have conversations all year long with our veteran compatriots and our members that are thinking and considering release, and how do they start that process, and how do they start figuring out how to speak in civilian language as opposed to all of the military language that we've accustomed ourselves to. So yes, we do speak all year long, and I've been advocating with a number of different companies across the country to help organize and support and transition skill sets.
So important. Well, thank you so much, both Shelley, Nick, for coming in. And Shelley, we're certainly very grateful for your contributions to our country, to our freedom. So thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us. And of course, we'll be thinking of you next week, and of course during this weekend and year round.
Thank you so much, Nick. Enjoy the True Patriot Love dinner in Ottawa tonight. Good to see you again.